Good morning, students. Last class we have discussed about the major decision by elected leaders. Today we will discuss about in what is democracy. Our part 3 is one person, one vote and one value. See, in this, the principle of universal adult franchise is accepted by almost all over the world. Now, what is universal adult franchise? Universal adult franchise, it is nothing but we can also call universal franchise or general suffrage or common suffrage of the common man. It gives the right to vote to all adult citizens. Universal male suffrage was instituted in the year 1853. In the year 1853, male citizen over 18 years of age was guaranteed by the Statute Pen Law, the General Election Law of 1912. It was amended to include female citizen in the year 1947 but became effective in the year 1952. Okay, so these are these, but there are many instances of denial of an equal rights to vote. See, in Saudi Arabia, women do not have right to vote. If we talk about Saudi Arabia, the women, they have not having the right to vote. Has made the citizenship rulers in such a way that people belonging to Russian minority find it difficult to get the right to vote. If we talk about the Russian minorities, even here the people were facing the difficulties of right to vote. But in Fiji, the electoral system is such that the vote of indigenous Fijian has more value than that of the Indian Fijian. Again here the differentiate is that the Indian Fijian is not having that much of value of indigenous Fijian. What is democracy? Democracy is based on what? Fundamental principle of political equality. Our democracy is based on what? Fundamental principle of political equality. That it gives the third future of democracy. So here the third future of democracy is nothing but in a democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote have one value. It's the third future of democracy. Again, I am repeating the first, second and third future of democracy. See the first future of democracy. Democracy is that in a democracy, the final decision making power must rest with those elected by the people. This is the first feature of democracy. Second feature of democracy, that a democracy must be based on what? Free and fair election where those currently in power have the fair chance of losing. And third feature of democracy is in a democracy each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. We shall read more about in chapter 4 about this topic. Now, rule of law and respect for rights. Our next subheading is what? Rule of law and respect of rights. See, this is the case study of Zimbabwe. This future of democracy can be understood in a better way that Zimbabwe attained independence from white minority in the year 1980. See, in the year 1980, the Zimbabwe got the independence from which minority? The white minority. From then onwards, the country has been ruled by the party ZANU-PF, which led the freedom struggle. The party leader Robert Mugabe has been, so here he was the president of the country since independence. So when they got the independence in 1980, from that onwards the party leader was Robert Mugabe and he was the president of president of the country since independence. See, elections are always won by this party through violence and harassment of the opposition politician, workers and journalists. So always here this party used to win the election by what? By doing violence or harassment. Protests against the presidents were illegal and the government does not heed court judgment which went against it. Thus, there is no rule of law and citizen rights are not respected. So here the citizen rights are not respected because here the vote has been taken by violence and harassment. So recently Robert Mugabe was thrown over the power after 37 years. So after 37 years he had been thrown by his power, whereas Emerson Mnangagwa became the new president. Emmerson Emerson Mnangagwa became the new president. The state should respect on the basic rights of citizen like freedom of expression. So here these people they got the freedom of what? Freedom of expression, rights of citizen like freedom of expression, freedom to protest and freedom to take political action. So after removing him, if the new president has been elected, so these people they have got the rights of what? Freedom of expression, freedom to protest, freedom to take any political action. Further, these rights should be protected by the judiciary whose orders should be obeyed by all. So these rights has been taken by the judiciary and here the people used to obey each and everything. The orders here the people used to obey it. So this is the fourth future of democracy. This is also another future of democracy is that a democratic government rules with limits set by constitutional law and citizen rights. This is also one of the future of the democracy.